Hi, my name's Chris Beausoleil. I live at 126 Croydon Avenue in the suburb of Sydney, Croydon, 126 Croydon Avenue in the suburb Croydon Park, which is a suburb of Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. It's the 19th day of December, 2016. What I want to do today is I want to talk about just one second, please. What I want to do today is I want to talk about the Anglican Bible College students at Moore Theological Bible College. 126 is a building that's majority owned by the Anglican Church and is used to house Moore Theological Bible College students. There's a group of people here, a group of students that are very close-knit, and they help each other, and they're learning computer, and they actively partake in advanced computer attacks, computer surveillance, phone surveillance, and network attacks and surveillance. And this has been happening since 2013 to now, which is 2016. So it's December now, and many of the students have left. One of the people that were in the group of attackers, I call him Games Foolfully, he lived right next door. Another one of his friends was, I'll call him Gall Das Vile. Gall Das Vile is a student minister, or was, he's not any longer, but he was for, I think, about a year, the student minister at the same church that Premier Mike Baird goes to. And I think that they had a relationship, that there's a relationship between Das Vile and Premier Mike Baird. Premier Mike Baird is an Anglican. He wanted to attend Moore Theological Bible College, and there are other Australian government politicians that are Anglicans as well. Moore Theological Bible College has a close relationship with the Australian government. There are many people in the Australian government that have prayer meetings together, and they support Moore Theological Bible College, and they support the agenda of Moore Theological Bible College, which is increase Christian, Anglican, not Christian, Anglican population in Sydney and the rest of Australia. I think it's something like they want to increase it by 12% by 2020 or something like that. I think I read that in a newspaper. So the Anglican Church and the Australian government has a very close relationship, and I think that the Australian government trains, headhunts, grooms, and trains members of the Anglican community to partake in cyber attacks and in cyber monitoring, computer monitoring, etc. They use national security as a guise, as a cover, but really what it is monitoring people's activities, and it's very, very financially rewarding. There's, for example, Vanda Gould, Vanda Gould. He's an accountant. He was under a 7-year investigation from the federal police for tax evasion, offshore tax evasion, and he got off. And I think that it's possible that he got off because of tax or because of data corruption. If this is the case, then the very things that the Anglican students here at Moore Theological Bible College have been doing to us were done to get him off the hook. They've been doing the same things to us for a long time. Corruption of data and tampering with systems, and for example, changing the file names, changing file dates, creating forcing external hard drives to be read-only, and a whole bunch of other things. Now, their attacks are extremely elite and extremely sophisticated. For example, one attack I call InSeNRA, Insidious Serial Nether Remote Assault, InSeNRA, I-N-S-E, InSeNRA, N-R-A. So this attack is remote access to air-gapped machines, and by air-gapped machines I mean machines that I took apart and removed the wireless card and the Bluetooth card. So tell me how you can access a machine when the wireless card and the Bluetooth card are taken out. I think there's a back door into circuit boards, and I think that these people know how to enter any machine they want underneath the operating system. that is very similar to the IAMT attack for Intel machines, where they use Intel's management engine and IAMT technology to attack the machine, to change the machine, to administer the machine, the Intel machine, even when it's off. Now this is worse, because this with the Anglican Bible college students, and I say Anglican, but for example, James Foolfley, one of the people involved in that very next door, he was a Baptist. So the Anglicans, Presbyterians, and Baptists are kind of affiliated, and the Anglicans accept Presbyterians and Baptists within the school here. So I think that these people are being trained, and that there's a secret way into motherboards, into circuit boards, maybe analog to digital conversion, ADC conversion, maybe infrared, maybe radio frequencies, maybe there's a way to access the circuitry of the CPU directly, or maybe they're using audio, I don't know. But the fact is that they're accessing these circuit boards directly underneath the operating system. I know this because it happened to me over and over and over. So I'll talk about that in another video. I'll dedicate another video to that. But like for example, one example was after removing the wireless and Bluetooth cards, I made DD images of the hard drives that these students were attacking, and I saw later on that the hard drives were, or the images of the hard drives were accessed, and the sizes of those hard images changed, so false data was placed to corrupt those images. Now they're not admissible into court because they've been corrupted, and the times have been changed, and the names have been changed. So this is an and this was done on a machine with no wireless and Bluetooth cards. So how did they access it? Like I said, there's a secret way into the circuit board. There's a secret way into the computer. So these students are being trained, and now it's December, so like for example, James Foolfley has left, and I think that they're committing attacks on the phone to show or to give deniability for his involvement in the attacks on us previous to his leaving. Some of those attacks I would like to go through, and I would like to talk about. One of the attacks is like the battery. Now when I remove the battery, the default time for the system is supposed to be January 1st, 2010 at 11:02. That's what it always has been. If you look at this image, first thing, it's strange that the SIM card isn't there, because the SIM card is fine and it should be active. But look at the time, it says 11:01. Now 11:01, it's close to 11:02, but every single time I ever looked at the phone before, it was always 11:02. So the time may be 11:01 and 11:02, I'm not sure. But the default time is 11:01 or 11:02, January 1st, 2010. When I remove the battery, when I start up the phone, that's the date that the phone has. In this case, I removed the battery and started up the phone, and the time was 11:04. Here it's 11:08. Here it's 17:41. And then here it's 11:28. So what is causing this change in battery times? I don't know, but a guess might be that wherever the battery time is being kept, maybe in the recovery or the firmware, wherever it's being kept persistent, the foreign system that is controlling my phone, that has mirrored my phone, is accessing that. And when I pull the battery, it gets cut off. So the time that sticks is the time of the remote master system, which is the attacker system, which is the MTC system. So of course they're going to make every identifying that system difficult. So they will have false times. And the time on my system will show correctly, but the time on their system will be false. And maybe that's where these strange times are coming from. Another thing I want to show you is uploading to YouTube video and some things that have happened while uploading video to YouTube. So here's I'm selecting images here. Look at that I have double folders: screen bin, camera, camera. They're doubles. And these folders never used to be double. This happened just before games fully left. So I think that this is evidence of some kind of broken link or some kind of broken overlay that somehow got broken in the communication between their system and my system or my phone. That they have cloned my phone, that they have duplicated my phone, and that this duplicate folders, these are exactly the same folders but shown as twice, is evidence of them duplicating. This very same thing happened with my Nokia 1520. I saw this all the time. I'd have duplicate photo albums, or duplicate files, or duplicate, sometimes duplicate images even. And I've shown before in other videos I've uploaded to YouTube on this Android. Sometimes I'll take a screenshot, and this first shot will have no sound, and then another screenshot is taken immediately after, which has sound. It's almost like one screenshot is being taken for my phone and another screenshot being taken for the root master system, and that system doesn't give a screenshot sound, like it doesn't give a shutter sound. So here are double folders, and I think this is evidence for like an overlay or a clone or a mirrored system that the MTC attackers are using to monitor and control my phone. They have control and administrative root control over this phone. Here's another example. This is videos, and this is clip in and camera folders which have been duplicated or which show as duplicates. Here is another example. Here is cached apps. So the cached apps here, over 2 hours and 1 minute. I have always set the phone not to show any background applications. So I have always set the phone to have, in developer options, to have background process limited to no background processes. I say don't keep activities, but when I upload to YouTube, I have to have this on, otherwise I won't be able to upload. So going back to the image that I was at before, here is cached apps over 2 hours and 1 minute. See, there's no cached apps. Here, look at the time. It's up in the right hand corner of the image is 1741. I remove the battery, shut the phone down, and then turn the phone back on immediately. And look at the time. It's 11:28. Look at the time in this photo, 17:41, and the time in this one is 11:28. Now, this was only minutes after I shut the phone down here. Shut the phone down here, started up here, but look at the times are quite different. And also, the cached apps is populated again, fully populated with a whole bunch of different applications. Here it's empty, and here it's fully populated. And the restart was only 3 to 5 minutes apart. As you can, here it says 3 minutes, 2 hours and 4 minutes, and here it says 2 hours and 1 minute. So here I think this is an example of tampering with the system again. Here I'm uploading videos to YouTube, and I get failed to query documents. Never happened before. This happened just before games fully left. I think this is an attack. They're attempting to make it so that I cannot query documents, so that I cannot upload to YouTube. Here, an error. Here, failed to query documents. Look at the time, 6:10. Here, the time is 6:13. Here, I successfully chose a document, I uploaded, and it started uploading, and then I got this error at about 12 to 20% of file upload completion. I got an error has occurred while sending data over the internet, over the network. Please check your network. Well, look at the signal. I have a 4G signal, and I have a strong signal strength. So why did I lose the signal? Well, this happened all the time with my Nokia 1520 as well. And here we see a duplication of attack techniques. Very similar attack techniques, but completely executed on completely different platforms. This is an Android platform, and the same thing was being done on my Nokia 1520. So here we see a transference, cross-platform transference of attack techniques. I think that these attacks are like blueprinted attacks, like a Rolodex of attacks for different devices, and these students are being taught these different attacks, and they're using me to practice on, and then they're going to take these attacks into the wild and do them on other people. So I think it's very important to recognize that these attacks are being done, and I think it's very important to recognize that the Anglican students here at Moore Theological Bible College are doing these attacks, and that their intent is to learn how to commit these attacks. I'm sorry about the thing. I got low phone. Now, the reason I have my phone filled up is because the phone actually works better when there's little memory. It actually works better when my background processors are turned off and there's less memory. It seems like the Anglicans use the memory in the phone that they, uh, when the phone is full, they have a more difficult time accomplishing what they want to do. That's what it seems like to me. So, anyways, it seems that it's very clear to me now, and lots of evidence suggests. I'm sorry, I'm tired. That these Anglicans students are being cherry picked, groomed, for a long period of time within their community, within their church, that they have connections with the Australian government, and that there's a lot of back scratching going on, and there's a close relationship between the Anglican Church and the Australian government. I know for a fact that Premier Mike Baird is very, very close and very, very tightly involved with the Anglican Church. I know that there's an agenda in the Anglican Church to increase Anglican population within Australia and within the world. And there's a huge distaste towards Muslim populations and towards other populations, probably maybe Jewish and Lebanese and Palestinian. Sure, absolutely. If you're not Anglican, you can be disposed of. That's what I've seen here at Moore Theological Bible College. All my life I've considered myself a Christian until I moved here. I do not consider myself, I will not be called a Christian anymore because of these Anglicans and because of these Presbyterians and Baptists, because of these computer criminals that had no right to go into my equipment. They are still in this, and I think the only reason that they're committing these attacks is to try and make games foolfully, and the other people that were here that have left look innocent. See, Chris? The attacks are happening and they left and they're gone. So how can it be them? So I think this isn't just a cover up, and I think that these attacks are being committed now. They probably will be committed for a long time, but just now, specifically to try and cover up and provide deniability for Games Foolfully and his friends that may have left the college after graduating. So please keep an eye open, and thank you for watching the video. Keep an eye open for this activity, and if you see anything like this, just make it public and spread the word. Watch out for these people because they're horrible and very aggressive, and their intentions are malicious, and they have no respect for anybody's privacy, and they have no morality that dissuades them from entering your computer anytime they want and watching all of your activities and stealing anything they want from your activities. So thank you, and have a good day.